Well, hello, Antonio and/or Brad Barfield.
Well, I'm Brad today, and
No.
Donald, good to talk to you. I called you because I'm on a mission. I'm not.
What's your mission, man?
I'm not trying to cut any chit chat cut out, but I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm sitting out here on my front porch swing, and it's a nice little rain coming down. I may have had a little something good, and I'm sitting here.
Oh.
A little CBD.
Is it green? Is it green?
It's green. Anyway,
okay.
So I was thinking about hunting stories, and me and you went hunting a few times, and then we may have had a little bit of off conversation about this life that we'll get to in a minute. But you were about to tell me a story, and it was already good. So back up just a second and tell me about this guy that the hunting story is going to revolve around. If you want to, or you can just start where you're at. What do you think?
Oh, I have no problem with that. Well, I mean, I had an uncle. It was my dad's uncle. His name was Uncle Bert. That was truly all I remember, because I was so young when this started. But he lived over around Dumas. They had dirt races around that area a lot of times. But now, I'm still like, 6 or 7. But now he worked at, the Cummins prison. And he was a cook there. But he also ran what they called the strap. Now this is, again, back during the time where, they still had the Cummins rodeo. I remember going to that on field trips. That was just kind of a normal thing. You had the prison rodeo. Now it's almost like a woke issue, but whatever, not to me. But this man, he taught me how to, go to, hunt coon and stuff. I mean, we would go live at his place, for, a week or so, and, we'd trap and, just kind of learn how to, wear water boots out in the woods. Very interesting experience. But, this all started, of course, with us talking about our experience with that blue light and, some of our friends and, where we went. So what are you actually trying to get to, Brad? Tell me about it, brother.
I want to get to our story. And we've talked a little bit of the context, but you're so good at telling stories. And you can just sum up what we just talked about. And just tell us about, just tell us a story about it. I want it, and we want to get some feedback on it. If anybody ever listens to this, we want to know what this damn thing is. I do. But just tell it for us. And if I feel like you missed something, we can add it back later. But just tell me the story, tell who it was, use first names, and just tell us that story.
Well, it is the story I believe you're talking about. You and I and a gentleman named Bobby, we were good friends. We were fairly young, and we lived in South Arkansas, and, we was doing our things. And, we liked to just go out and walk the fields at night, like we were hunting and, coon hunting and stuff. Of course, Bobby, he really thought he was a good guy, and we were all right with that because we just wanted to get out and do stuff. We didn't have cell phones or any of that kind of stuff at that time. So, yeah, we took a couple shotguns and we walked down the side of the road. Try to do that now these days. But, we kind of just went and enjoyed ourselves. And, we had dogs chasing, who knows what. We were all like, hey, what's that? But,
yeah.
It was all, an entertaining aspect of connecting with each other during that time period, whatever you want to call that. But the biggest thing was we came out on the road, and I still remember. Go ahead.
It just reminded me of this. We're going to tease them a little bit because we were at this time. This night here, we were at my home where I grew up, which was beside my grandparents and my uncle, and we were in this curve. This is like all a tributary area for rivers. But this land that we were the part we were on, there's like 2 or 3 people that own property there, and there's horses, there's cows, there's deer, there are cougars, there are I don't know if there's bears back then. There's probably some hogs running around.
Oh, there was hogs, but not many bears. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, and just this is probably not what a lot of people are used to. If there's people still live in a more metropolitan area, they're not going to have experience what we experienced. First off, we're like 14 years old, maybe 15. We were out in the woods with guns. It was nighttime.
Yeah.
Walking down the side of the highway. We weren't drinking or drugging or anything. We were still too young.
No, actually, we wasn't. I mean, it was just we were high on life at that point.
Yeah, we were just having
Go
fun.
ahead.
But anyway, so we, there's horses. We probably rode horses, fell off them. They'll tell them what we'd done that day. But we knew we was going hunting this night, and we had been talking about it. I think we got a dog. I think we were going to try maybe my papa's dog or something. I have no idea.
I think we were going to try to, but they ran back home pretty quick. I mean, that's kind of deserted us.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Maybe they always say that dogs sense something that human beings can't. We're going to get to this something or the other in just a minute. But you go ahead now. So you see, we got up there. It's probably at least 11 p.m. You would never go hunting before then.
Oh, well, no. I mean, not for because we were coon hunting. I mean, it was going to be after night. I mean, so it was after 10.
After midnight. Yeah.
I don't think it was quite that late, but it was way later than, people our age at that time stayed up. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. It was probably a weekend,
It was because, different times.
Yeah.
I absolutely promise you it was probably a weekend because I know my parents wouldn't let me do none of that shit if it was on a weeknight. Anyway. What I remember is, we were just doing our guy thing. We were tromping through the woods. We didn't really care if we found anything to hunt. It was just us out there in the woods having a good time. But then we come out on the road and we decided we had to go back home. But then there was a huge flash and all we could see was this blue light, fireless smoke. That's the only way I could think about it. It was just there was a smoke behind it, but there was no fire creating it. It was all blue. And then it disappeared. And then it moved across the stars. And we had this massive discussion all the way home.
Well, see, now, what I saw, this is what I saw, okay? And of course, it scared me to death. Probably. I'm probably just had to be resuscitated. I don't know. But anyway, so...
Oh, no, it scared all of us because I remember us talking to our parents and stuff later and going, did y'all see this? Have y'all seen anything like this?
Yeah. Well, here's what I saw, okay? Are you still there?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So we were all walking through there, and the dog was still there, I think, maybe this time. Maybe it was, I don't know. Anyway, so I looked up. I don't really remember much, but I remember we were still in the woods. I was still in the woods, and I think we were probably all kind of scattered around. I don't know where everybody was at, but I was standing where I was standing, and directly in front of me was a huge tree. And what I saw in my mind, it looked to me like, and I don't know what everybody else saw. This is just what I saw. It looked like a small blue light at the base of the tree got bigger and bigger up toward the top of the tree, and it stopped about 3/4 of the way up, and then it just exploded into this light smoke thing that you're talking about. So I saw it start as a little bitty thing. It made no noise. It was just, and it was fast but slow. It's like it was in slow motion, but millions of miles per hour. I can't even describe its ascension, but to me, it started out as this little thing, little bitty ball of light, and then it did up straight, and then it just disappeared by exploding without making a noise or having any kind of a fire residual. And we went back the next day, which very much I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be brave to y'all, but
I'm gonna go scare me, maybe shit myself. I ain't gonna shit on myself. My God.
But now, so that's what I saw. Did you see something different? Maybe, I mean, that's what's in my mind. That's the way I've always envisioned what I saw.
Well, the only difference Well, no. I mean, truly, the only difference is I don't remember it coming up from the ground. It started tiny, but I do remember there was a massive pine tree between us and it.
Yeah.
But it started in the sky, moved behind the tip, and then just got massive. It's like it grew so much more, which is why, over time I've realized that it's got to be a, meteorite or something, that had those factors that make it blue. I mean, if it's got a lot of copper, it's green. But at the same time, I'm not willing to not discount that it came up from the ground, because it don't really look right. It goes back to your memory perspective. What do you want to believe? Because that little spot is a blurry area. Did it start at the ground and come up? Did it start before the tree and go over?
That's exactly it.
It's a perspective thing.
Hey, you remember I prefaced everything by saying we were standing in different areas, and I may have been laid on the fucking ground. I mean, I may have been with a dog or something, and just looked over,
Right. It's the acceptance that someone else could have a different view of you.
You think you really, and it makes sense for it to be a meteor, or
whatever
what they call a shooting star, which is probably a meteor or asteroid, small piece of space debris or whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
Come see. But to be, see, to me, I saw an up and down light in front of me. I'm pretty sure. But maybe I'm again, like I said, I freaked out because I wasn't expecting it. But
But think about the age we're at and our interpretation of a reality.
I know.
Still it goes back to perspective, emotional state, experiences in life. We are wiser for being older. Like then, I have no problem saying we all thought, every one of us, you, me, and Bobby, UFO, and that's what I was trying to get to. Is that was an experience in my past that shaped me, but now I've grown enough to know that, depending on your mindset, you can be scientific, which I'm very technical, scientific, non-spiritual. I go, okay, I understand it. It's the burning of the certain metals and this and this and this, like I was talking about, green for copper, blue for nickel. So that rationalize it to my mind.
Yeah.
But my mind is exactly that. My mind. Your mind can interpret it totally different, and I have no right to say you're wrong in interpreting it like that.
Well, just think about those different things it could be.
Right.
Because I agree that I would want it to be that, but now other people have said it could have been some kind of a swamp gas type thing.
Absolutely. So, what do you want to believe? What makes you happy in this life? I mean, truly, which explanation of that? Well, see, that's me. Cool. You and then I start this, with the thing of, this was a cool experience for us. I don't care if it was a true UFO. I don't care if it was swamp gas. I remember 3 friends walking through the woods, having a great time, and we saw something unique for the 3 of us. That's what I remember of it more than anything.
Yeah. Well, and it's a great fucking story. And the thing of it is that it probably is. In fact, if I think about it, I remember seeing like blue and white, and because it was so intense. But that could be. We need to carry a metal. We need to get Danny to carry his metal detector out in that area because it had to be close. Let's just go with the theory that it was a meteor, and I like that idea. Okay.
All right. So let's say it was a multi-element meteor.
Yeah.
So each one of these elements. Oh.
Hey, Donald. There you are. You okay?
There you go. Yeah, I'm sorry. I accidentally unplugged my earphones. All right, so let's just say it's a meteor. All right, so each element burns at a different color. Copper is green, nickel is blue. I mean, iron is red. But it's still the idea in your head.
That's right.
Maybe it's not just that. It's the flexibility of your mind to accept. During that time, hey, I was happy, totally happy going, oh, I saw a UFO. Now I'm like, well, maybe I didn't see a UFO, but that experience still marked me. It still made me who I am.
Well, I like the idea of being able to talk about it rationally because, I mean, if I tell the story now, I have to tell it in some kind of a little bit of a spooky kind of a way because I don't know how to talk about it any other way because I've never had any, and of course I hadn't really told a lot of people about it because it's kind of too weird to tell unless you know that it was. Now, if I knew it was a meteor and I felt 100% with that, but I've never even heard that before. If I have, I hadn't really grasped it before.
Well, and there's the thing is, like I finally have rationalized it as that. That don't mean I'm right. It's just the thing of me trying to solve it in my mind. I'm okay with it being a total mystery. I love it being a mystery, actually, because it's kind of one of those, well, I'm going to put this down to 60% meteor and me being special and we saw something that only we saw. I mean, that's kind of human nature. You want to feel you saw something special, so yeah.
Well, I remember about that time. This is before we were educated people. This is, we were 14 years old.
There you go.
Your mind. We were
young.
And we were all had played baseball together, stuff like that, and been probably on the same team, and hung out all the time. And we didn't see fanciful shit like that. I mean, we played, like you said, we were at my house over there. A lot of us would wind up there. There was creeks to swim in, and we had these swings and horses and cows and shit. And a lot of people were there all the time. And we explored that area up there, and we ran across snakes, and we talked about all the animals you may find up there. But
you left the house at daylight, and you didn't come home until you heard Mama going, "Supper's ready."
Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly the way we were raised.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, I was told by papaws and dads and stuff like that, it's like, man, don't get near those women. They'll put your ass to work. They'll make me to put you to work, and I'm trying to do my shit. So you need to go get your shit done and leave me the fuck alone.
God, I still remember. I still remember me growing up and raising my kids, and they would go outside. They would go come in and out, and I'm like, I'm thirsty, and I'm like, you ain't thirsty. Now I'm speaking after my parents. You ain't thirsty. You've only been out there 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nowadays, it's a case of, oh, my baby's thirsty. I'll give her 40 gallons of water. Yeah, see, we used to drink out of the water hose. If you're thirsty, turn on the water hose.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to come into the house. Turn on the water hose.
That's all you gotta do. And we all had some kind of something to drink of out there, whether it be like like an aluminum dipping thing or something, outside. Get up under grandma's tail. Good tail.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of disgusting. Grandma's pants.
No,
Brad. Okay, I know. You didn't mean it like that. I apologize.
But now,
all right, I was being funny. Go ahead, please.
But other times, honey, though, I remember, I mean, I remember, I told you about, been around some of this crazy thing. I just remember these guys one night, we were riding, and I was driving, okay? And we were like just real young. And we got caught with this, so this is something that's been adjudicated. As much as it's ever going to get adjudicated.
Okay, age range, please. Age range.
Well, probably about
For the
same. It was about the same time, and I was around, family,
Okay,
So,
there you go.
So,
and personal ages. Got you.
Yeah, so, but, you're probably around the same age. I wasn't drinking. I was driving, of course, at 13 years old, I had a good driving record, man.
Oh, see, you said it, 13.
Yeah, 13. Yeah. But anyway, we're riding through there and had a bright light. It was, the dad's light. And then night hunting used to be a thing. It's very illegal now, but it's a thing. And it was illegal then, but it wasn't illegal like it is now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. No, I do. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, we're riding along, and one of the people in the truck got the 30-30 out and shined a light, and one of them, and the other one said, "That's not a fucking deer. That is a horse." And the other guy's like, "No, goddamn, those eyes are different colors." And they argued, "No, if it was a deer, it had green eyes." They had this big argument, and the other one said,
"They shot a horse."
And shot a fucking horse.
I'm sorry to jump I'm so sorry to jump into your story, but they shot a horse.
They shot a horse. They shot a fucking horse. Okay?
Okay, so I'm so glad I do not know who these people are.
Well,
and you are a underage non-participant.
So we had to go after this. First off, we took off left because there was a shot and it was right near the house, which was dangerous anyway. Because they're gonna fucking hear a shot. 12 o'clock at night, 13 to 15, 16-year-old boys out riding around. Anyway,
oh yeah.
But once we figured out what had happened, because we had to part way down the road and run up through the woods and fight off bulls and shit like that, it was just crazy. And get over there, we found a dead horse. We thought we were going to find a deer.
Please continue.
So we're sitting there, and the one who pulled the trigger, he just started cursing violently. I mean, it was. And he was trying to hit the horse, and me and the other one was like, "No, you don't hit it anymore because they're going to see the broke spot, dumb fuck."
Is that where the "stop beating a dead horse" come from?
That's where it came from.
Okay, go ahead. All right, I will stop interfering.
Well, okay, so then we're like sitting there, and everybody's upset, and so we had to go knock on some doors and shit, tell people what had happened, including the man that we did it with. We went over there with one of his parents, and knocked on the dude's door and explained to him that we killed his fucking horse, I'm like, oh, man. That's a bummer, man.
Bummer.
So anyway, we all got to do a little work for him. I didn't have to do a whole lot. They adjudicated me on that, and I was like, man, I don't even like guns, man. I ain't shot no damn horse. I'll tell you, I ride a horse. So.
Well, Ken, you'll have to excuse me. I'm not surprised. I'm so sorry. I'm not surprised by that, but one of the biggest one is, I know some of you kin folks would shoot a horse and think it's a deer, but how about we remember the time I felt ill with the flashlight with the rope?
That's another mystery.
I know, right? Okay, so the story is...
Hold on. Before
go ahead.
Let me preface this by saying that a guy I saw the other day, in fact, I called him at 5 o'clock in the morning, pretending like I was Antonio. But anyway, I talked to him. He was not happy. He said, "You woke me up with this piece of shit." And I said, "I'm so sorry to wake you up, but I just want you to be so happy." But anyway, this guy, he's a pretty rational guy, but he's kind of crazy too. He's kind of like all of us, a little older than us. And but he saw a UFO at this time. I mean, this was a grown-ass man walking around saying that the doors had opened up on it. He saw up inside the shit right up there on Hollis Trail. He had seen that shit. Yeah, this is what Ed had told everybody. Him and some girl he was with up there. I said they must have got on that ecstasy up there and making love there.
Maybe some glass involved. I don't know. Go ahead. Anyway, sorry.
But anyway, so so they and that was already, everybody was talking about that. So if you mention anything at that time period, I'm talking about the precise time period of us seeing that blue light we saw, what I call it the blue light, blue and white light. But anyway, I'm trying to, but yeah, that light, so that was a little bit of the context there, Yeah.
Well, I mean, about that same time, believe me, it wasn't just a pure blue or nothing. I mean, believe me, I was more the idea of like you and I and Bobby had. Oh, that was just super weird. I've just, of course, going back to trying to rationalize it as a meteor because of it was blue and white, and they see it, but we saw a few things that actually hinted at, that ain't quite what it was. But I mean, we try to rationalize things to a point. Go ahead.
We're both educated men. We're both educated men with pieces of paper from schools. Have worked around technological things our entire lives. We're not, we're not dumb. I'm not trying to say that it was I like the idea of the meteor thing. It was something terrestrial as such, even though it had to break into the atmosphere to get to be terrestrial. But see, that makes sense for me because I just don't believe that this is my opinion. I just don't believe that some little alien is going to drive a ship here and see Ed Cunningham on a fucking Hollis Trail.
Believe me, Antonio is not going to drive down through the atmosphere in blue and white flames and change directions and block out stars. Because now, this is the one thing I remember that actually made me believe it was not just a meteor. Now, I've rationalized it as a meteor because the colors match. It was blue, there was white, I remember, but there was a point that it stopped, and I remember it blocking out the star I was looking at. And I saw it physically black out stars as it moved over the trees to my left. So we're standing at the end of Hollis Trail. We came out of Hollis Trail, and we were probably 25, 30 feet from the entrance to the trail and to the entrance to Mrs. Hollis' side. I mean, we were kind of in between. We were on the edge of the road, mostly in the ditch, because, we were still worried about people seeing us with shotguns on the edge of the road. And it just lit up the sky, and we looked, and I remember the conversations, and, we were talking about, you made a comment that you thought it came up. Bobby made a comment that it just showed up and disappeared. I was thinking it came from up, from the left to the right, and then went back to the left, back toward Miss Cynthia May's house, closer to your house. I mean, so that would be south. There's a big differential of what the observation is, but it's still the three observations means we saw something.
I don't know what it was. I still don't know what it was. I still, in my mind, even though we're 40 years from there, probably, think about it, close to it, 35, 40 years from that time period. and I still don't know what it was. But you know, I tell you, I thought of another. We've been throwing in a couple of stories here, but I'm pretty sure we were talking earlier about the weird stuff that goes on with porn. You know, the weird things going on now. This is out of that.
Oh shit! Go ahead. Oh yeah. Everybody expect me to get nasty. No, please go ahead, Brad.
But no, what was I going to talk about with that?
I don't know.
Well, I was going to use that as the opening part for it, which is they have statistics, but back in the day we just had books and stuff like that. Okay, porn is such a different experience than what we would experience.
Hell yeah! I mean, our version of porn.
I want to go with it, though. But now, what is the direction I want to go with? Hold on. Let me think about this. I was going to tell a story.
Okay.
Okay.
Please.
It was about, what was the story going to be? Did I give you any hints at all?
Well, you said something about the porn thing. I was going to talk about.
I remember what it was. It's another story. Okay. I'm sorry. A little bit early.
We're good. Brother, I'm supposed to smoke some more while I'm going to mute you while I cack. Go ahead.
Okay. So if I'm remembering correctly, this is me and you and Hank. And Hank's no
Oh, God. Yes, please, go ahead.
This is another hunting adventure, okay? So we decided, we got permission somehow or the other. Maybe it was just, I don't know how we did it, but we were going to go spend the night on the river. And so we three loaded up. I had like a little pickup, and we put the camper on it. We failed to carry food, any kind of arrangements. I think, we didn't have anything. However, on the way there, we did run over a rabbit, and we put it in the back of the truck. We put it
I
back
sadly remember this.
Yeah. We put it back there.
I actually remember this. Go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
It did not get put back there very nicely. Yeah. There was blood all over the back of my vehicle. Everywhere there was blood. Like
oh my God! I had forgotten this until you mentioned it. Thank you.
So,
please,
we keep on driving. We get down there to our destination. We get there, and I had just got this was like in February. It was still no vegetation, but it was getting warmer. For a day or two. We somehow stayed there that night at this little camp area. So we had enough something to build a fire. We got the rabbit. I don't think we even skinned it or gutted it or anything. Hank may have gutted it. I don't know. Anyway, we wrapped it in pie pans we found on the side of the road, cooked it, and I think we ate a little bit of it. I don't know. But we did have some of those magazines, that pornography with us. 2 or 3 magazines.
Well, we're going to have to back some of this up. I remember the white truck and the camper.
Yeah.
And I remember the dead rabbit. Now, y'all eating that sandwich on the side of the road in pie pans. Now, that's all y'all. I don't remember none of that.
Do you not remember cooking
No, I remember us trying to do it, but again, there was.
That's all we need.
And then it was
I don't even
like,
know if I got one bite. I don't even know. I think we might have done something.
Well, what it actually was all right. So here's what I actually remember. All right. So everything you said was true. That rabbit was just damn destroyed.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't skin, gut, or eat that rabbit. It was almost roadkill.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. It was damn roadkill.
He ran in front of us. Yeah.
And Hank kept saying, "Oh yeah, we can eat this." And I was like, "No, we can't eat this. Hell no, we can't eat this."
He's all bruised up.
Oh no, it wasn't. Oh my God, the bones were shattered. The guts and the shit was all in the meat. Oh my God, it was roadkill. It's like, I will not eat roadkill. No. I don't care if we just killed it. It's roadkill. And that's what it was. We was going where we was going, and he ran out in front of us. And it was using this little white truck, the one that you had me drive up to Monticello with you, underage because you had appendectomy. I remember
Needed
that.
a beer.
There you go. And
Anyway.
and it's like we were like, no, we're not going. Oh, that's good. We'll just eat this part. And we was like, well, okay, Hank, because Hank, we don't believe you, but you know what? We're nice enough. We're just going to let you do this.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it was just butchered. It was
horrible.
Oh, it was like rabbit honks and front legs, and there was bones. It's like, nope, I didn't.
I think that you probably.
It was roadkill. I'm so very sorry. It was roadkill.
Okay.
No.
Okay, now let me go past this. So
all right.
Our truck is sitting there. My truck, the vehicle we're in, sitting there. The back doors are open on it. There's blood all in it.
White tailgate, streaked with blood. It was, imagine this darkened canopy, the old school campers on the back of the trucks with the, the little hood that points up. Yeah, there's Brad's truck. All right, yes, please.
Yeah. Well, anyway, and we weren't there at the time. We were walking up and down the river, which was down. I think it was a dry year or something. Anyway, we were walking up and down. It was still kind of cool outside, but we were walking up and down I had a brand new 12-gauge pump. I had just gotten it for Christmas, and we were out there. It was like I think it was February, maybe early March. We were walking out there, just shooting the gun up and down through there, and we came walking back up the riverbank, and there stood 2 game wardens, and I was like, oh shit. We had dirty magazines, a shotgun. It was out of season. We had buckshot. We had squirrel shot. We had whatever kind of miscellaneous.
Hey, Brad, I don't know who you was with, but that wasn't me. Please continue telling your story, but I wasn't there. I'll just comment.
You were there.
No, sir. I've never been stopped by a game warden. I never in my life remember.
You were there. You were
there. Okay,
you just don't remember. Let me just go. Get away from
go.
It.
Yeah, all right.
Okay,
well, go ahead.
You.
Please. You may
remember the rabbit. If you remember the rabbit, then you should remember the game warden.
Dude, I could have been drunk then, but please, by all means.
We were drunk.
Oh,
anyway.
See, that explains a lot. Okay. Preach to me, brother.
we came walking up, and this is like, holy shit. And the game warden was like, we've been hearing you guys shoot all up and down the river here. And we had most of the shells and stuff with us. Hank said, I'm going to fill them. He's going to always do some shit like that, He's going to refill them. So we had them all there. And it was just miscellaneous shit. There was whatever I could find, that had gone with the gun. I think he had something as well to put in the gun. And,
I must have been super drunk by this time. But it does kind of sound familiar, sadly.
You were the one holding the Playboy magazine.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, God, it does sound sadly familiar. Oh, my God. Go ahead, please.
So
go ahead. I will.
We come walking up the hill, and the first thing, I think it was Callaway, or I think that's who it was. Anyway, he was like, boys, boys, boys. And I was sitting there holding the gun. He took the gun. He put it up on this little squirrel skinning table thing. He got all of our shells to put up there. And he said, well, where's the deer at? And like, man, we've not killed a deer. He said, what is all this blood in the back of the truck? Whose truck is it? My truck. Whose blood is it? Y'all kill somebody? Y'all kill a deer? It's a rabbit. And he said, okay, well, where's the rabbit? I said, we cooked it and ate it, or tried to.
There you go, yeah.
And
now,
like,
that's all I remember. Maybe I blocked it out, but I do remember that was a rabbit.
Yeah.
We tried to cook a rabbit.
The rabbit. That's what that was. We ran over the